A manhunt is underway tonight for a gunman who struck in broad daylight in the middle of a crowded street. A young man killed execution style. Here with the new images, ABC's John Triffin.
This is the chilling image just moments before police say a suspected hitman pulled a gun from his pocket and put a bullet into the back of the head of 31-year-old Brandon Lincoln Woodard, a father and aspiring lawyer from Los Angeles. Police are now looking for this man who somehow managed to slip away with more than a dozen witnesses nearby in Manhattan's Columbus Circle. Here's how the calculated murder went down. Police say around 1:20 Monday afternoon, the suspect arrived at the scene waiting for his victim. 30 minutes later, he gets out of the tan getaway car, talks to his getaway driver, and scopes out the scene. Watch as multiple people walk by, getting a glimpse of the killer before he pulls his hood up, then begins pacing up and down the block, even passes by his target. Minutes later, as Woodard is walking down this busy street with surveillance cameras catching his every move, the suspect walks up from behind. Police say that's when the victim looks up from his phone, instinctively turns around, but decides to keep going. Seconds later, around 2 o'clock, that's when police say the suspect pulled out a silver semi-automatic pistol, firing the fatal shot. The hitman then calmly gets into the passenger side of the getaway car and takes off.
Nobody saw him. There were 50 people at least on that corner. Nobody's seen the guy.
ABC News has learned Woodard had more than a dozen arrests dating back to 2004, but police say they still don't know why someone wanted him dead.
What's good, y'all? What's the Numbers TV? It's your boy Poe Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and like the video if you appreciate the content that Poe Rowe and What's the Numbers I provided. Today we back on the profile piece. This one is on Bay Lloyd. In this video we're going to talk about his early years coming up in Queens. Then we will speak about the crowd in which Bay Lloyd ran with and some of the legendary names he's been associated with in his life. After that, we will highlight his relationship with his son, Bay Swag, before breaking down the situation that has Bay Lloyd serving 85 years in New York State Prison. Bay Lloyd, real name Lloyd McKenzie, is from the St. Albans section of Queens. Growing up on the north side during the 80s and 90s will be interesting, as the area will be heavily influenced by the hip-hop culture that was growing at the time. Artists like Run DMC, Roxanne Shante, and LL Cool J all hail from Queens and were some of the biggest rappers in the game during their heyday. Another culture that was also big in Queens at that time was the drug culture, with kingpins like Fat Cat Nichols, the Furtado Brothers, and Kenneth Supreme McGriff all making millions of dollars annually. And Bay Lloyd would grow up right in the thick of things, with his love for the streets and music growing organically. He attended Campus Magnet High School and started producing mixtapes for local rappers in the years following. By the year 2000, Bay Lloyd would become a father after his son Little Bay was born. He would take that title serious too, as he was present in his son's life from the start, and as the years went by, you could tell that Little Bay was his father's pride and joy. Presenting himself to be a record producer or club promoter to people he just met, Bay Lloyd was known in a lot of different circles in New York City, and actually worked with A Tribe Called Quest and Swiss Beats in the past. But some people say he was just another street hustler that allegedly made his money in the drug game and doing other illegal activities. Bay Lloyd would be affiliated with Slow Bucks, which was a crew of younger guys also from Queens that had a hip-hop inspired clothing line. Slow Bucks had a nice little run from about 2010 to 2014, where they were one of the more well-known crews in the New York City rap game, before a situation with 50 Cent in 2014 kind of put a black eye on their movement and caused some confusion with those around at the time. Bay Swag, which is Bay Lloyd's son, was introduced to the public as a rapper through the Slow Bucks umbrella as one of the youngest in the game doing it. And through his father's relationships, Bay Swag would get a chance to be around some of the heavyweights in rap music from an early age. You could tell that the father and son duo were networking hard and building up their sound musically to eventually get a deal with one of the major labels that's out there, like a Def Jam and Interscope. But right when things were heating up for the two, the arrest of Big Bay Lloyd in December of 2015 would leave his son out here alone to chase his dream. Now, to explain what Bay Lloyd got arrested for, we gotta go back 3 years prior to December of 2012, when Brandon Woodard was assassinated in broad daylight as he strolled down West 58th Street near 7th Avenue in Manhattan. According to police, Brandon was allegedly on his way to meet Bay Lloyd to collect $161,000 from him for 5 kilos of cocaine he gave Bay on consignment a month earlier. But rather than pay for the drugs, the police say Bay Lloyd set up the meeting instead to kill Brandon, and as Brandon walked down the street not knowing what was about to take place, a man who had got out of a Lincoln MKZ minutes earlier pumped a single bullet into the back of Brandon's head, killing him almost instantly. Brandon, who was a law student at the time of his death, was basically selling and fronting different dudes bricks of cocaine at a marked up price, making tens of thousands of dollars in profits. Bay Lloyd and his crew from Queens were one of the groups he was fronting with work, and allegedly, after a couple of flips, the crew from Queens decides to kill Brandon and keep the money, which is exactly what took place. Now, unfortunately for Bay Lloyd, the drug deal was brokered by his high school friend Karan Pender, who was one of the main actors in the movie The Cookout with Queen Latifah. And once police connected the dots and arrested Pender in May of 2013 for his involvement in the bi-coastal drug ring, Pender, rather than stand tall, decided to snitch and tell it all, starting with how it was Bay Lloyd who allegedly got Brandon killed so he wouldn't have to pay his drug debt. The police wouldn't rush to arrest Bay Lloyd, instead choosing to keep gathering evidence for the next year or so to straighten their case. And in December of 2015, once they felt they had enough, the police would go and arrest Bay Lloyd, charging him with second-degree murder, operating as a major trafficker, and conspiracy. Bay Lloyd would take the charges to trial, and in July 2017, he would be found guilty on all charges. Then in November of 2017, Bay Lloyd was sentenced to 85 years in New York State prison. The star witness in the case was none other than Karan Pender, who also helped convict 3 of Bay Lloyd's co-defendants, LaTroy Irvin Sr., Michael Wisdom, and Daryl Mason, who were hit with serious prison terms ranging from 12 to 40 years for their role in the drug ring. Bay Lloyd was the only one charged with the murder, as the actual triggerman has never been caught. But on somewhat of a positive note, Bay Swag, after years of grinding, would eventually go on to sign a recording contract with Interscope Records in December of 2018, taking a major step in changing his family lives for the better. And after years of grinding, Bay Swag would finally hit it big in early 2024 with his song For Sure. Rapper and producer Cash Cobain is also on the track, and Bronx rapper Ice Spice jumped on the remix. The song will help Bay Swag's fan base grow and also had him getting recognized by rappers that came before him. He performed at Summer Jam and started to move around the industry a lot more now that he got a record that has some momentum behind it. His father's still in jail serving that life sentence, but I'm sure Bay Lloyd is proud of his son, for still pushing forward without him there and making his way in the industry and actually becoming somewhat successful as he rides through this industry without his father there to guide him and, help him walk through certain doors. He still, made it happen. So salute to them. Salute to Bay Swag for pushing forward and actually becoming a successful artist. And it's up to him where he takes his career. He takes it to the next level or he just stays where he at. But at the end of the day, he's still pushing forward and making things happen for himself. But this was a quick updated profile piece on Bay Lloyd and his son Bay Swag. Now, Bay serving that long sentence. He got caught for the murder of that dude, the California dude that came to the city over some 10 bricks of cocaine, this, that, and the third. They caught him going over the bridge on the camera, they said. They found some receipts from the car. It had his name on it, this, that. The dude and the rapper also, a rapper by the name of Storm P, who's also from Queens. He got freestyles with 50 Cent back in the day and all that. I don't know if it was actually done or the DJ put it together, but they got a freestyle together. You go check it out. It's called Mastermind. He's the last one. It's him. It's 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, and Storm P. The reason why that freestyle gets talked about is because on that freestyle, 50 actually, says Preem name, but they blanked it out, this, that, and the third. So, that's why, people know about that freestyle. But Storm P was on that. Storm P ended up telling his name was Karan Pender. He was an actor, and he got a little bit of time. He's home now. Bay Lloyd got 80 to life, but his son's out here moving and shaking. So I just wanted to update that profile piece, let people know about what happened after the fact, because I did the profile piece on Bay Lloyd, but I mentioned his son in it, and now I want to update you that his son's actually moving and shaking out here in the music industry, trying to, get to the next level and take his career where it needs to be. But on that note, man, I'm out here. I just wanted to make sure y'all tap in. It's What's the Numbers TV. Follow the Instagram and any business Poro, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. We over 100,000 subscribers. Go check out the live stream and clips channel. And on that note, man, I'm out here. It's your boy Poro, What's the Numbers TV. Peace.